Once, when I was a young married man, I was peering into the bonnet of my wife's car in total disarray. I had got no idea where it wouldn't go. I didn't know too much about cars, but I could see there were things in there that might want fixing, but I didn't know what they were. And I was in despair, really, and my father-in-law turned up. Now, my father-in-law was a natural-born engineer. He was one of those blokes who could fix anything. He was just born that way. But he was kind to me, and he said, "What's the trouble, son?" And I said, "Well, I don't know what's the matter with this. I don't know where to turn. I think I'm going to give up." He said, "No, no, no." He said, "Never give up. Here's the answer." He said, "It's all in the mind." The way I look at it is this. Some guy has made this car. He's probably not as clever as I am. I bet he's not as clever as you are. And he said, but what he's made has gone wrong. So what we have to do is take it to pieces and find out why it's gone wrong. And maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can't. But if we don't take it to bits, we'll never find out. And he had a look in the car and he pointed out one or two things. He said, let's try that one. So we did. And that was the problem. The big thing is the mindset. Can we fix it? Well, the default position is, yes, we can. So here's one of my little challenges that happened to me this morning at breakfast time. We don't have problems anymore on this ship. We only have challenges. And here's how it went. Well, here's another of the downs of yachting. I've just got up for breakfast. It's June the 9th and it's Denmark and it's freezing cold out there. I can't believe this because it's never cold in June in Scandinavia, but it is today. So I've got two choices. I can either light my coal stove, and that's really too much hassle because the day will warm up pretty soon, or I can use my fan heater. I'm plugged into the dock, so I might as well. And it's working intermittently. It's sort of hunting and going and then it doesn't go. So clearly there's something wrong. So I'm having a look at it, and I've already taken the screws out the back so I can strip it down. And when I take it apart, the first thing I found when I opened it initially was that this was all coked up with dust and crud, which is probably, you'd expect that. So I've cleaned that with my little paintbrush, and I've had a good clean round inside as well. And now when I look inside, I've been looking for something that I can recognize that might possibly be causing it to malfunction. And the only moving part I can see, everything's clear, it's all clean. The only moving part I can see is this chap here, which you can't see. It's actually the sort of volume control. It's how much heat it's putting out. And if we look at that closely on the inside, we discover there's an old-fashioned set of points in there, just like we used to have on cars, to the make and break for the sparking plug. So when I first looked at this, it was a bit cruddy actually. And years ago, when we had sets of points in our cars, I used to see that quite often. And I'd have a word with Ros and I'd get her emery board, pop it in there and clean them up. So that's what I've done. Having a look, it looks a lot better actually for the work I've done. I've given it a bit of a go earlier before I put the video on. It's I've got high hopes, so I'm going to put it back together now and we'll see what happens. The screws, very kindly, are all captive, so they're easy to do up. Like all these things, they've got a great long thread on them. But we'll get there. You don't want to sit there and watch me do all 6 screws, so I'm just going to do 2, which should serve to hold it together. Let's see. Yeah, that's all right. And we'll plug it in and see how it behaves. Off it goes. It's holding. Ha ha ha! Result! Good. Well, I'm going to put it on the floor and I'm going to go and have some breakfast. Thanks for joining me.